TRC EDC back again with another knife video. This is the TS-67. It's a Tucson knife. Tucson is a company that's been around, I believe, for a while from what I can find online, and they've been around in China. They, I believe, produce some of their own knives, also produce knives that are sort of unbranded in China for a while. I'm not sure if they were into clones. It's kind of unclear from what was online, but it seems like they've been moving slowly into, you know, just being their own brand and being in the American market, and concentrating on making more quality stuff than they had in the past, and making a name for themselves based on quality rather than on some of the other you know, mass quantity stuff that some of the other brands do. So a lot of other knife reviewers have started doing Tucson knives. I figured I should pick one up, and I actually picked 3 up. Some of you may have seen on my giveaway video, I picked up the TS-16 as well as the TS-74. You'll have separate reviews on these, but this is the TS-67. This is flame titanium and D2 steel, and from what I understand from online, some of the testing has been done on steels on the D2 that Tucson uses, and the D2 has, I believe, found to be good quality D2, so that's good. But let's start out with some size comparisons here. This is an interesting size knife. It's about the same size as a PM2. Para 3 is smaller. And the reason I say it's an interesting size is because obviously it's got this slim profile. Let's take a look at the Benchmade Super Freak and the Benchmade Griptilian. And again, it's about the same size as the Super Freak. And let's take a look at the Benchmade 940, another slim profile knife, and the CJRB Centros. And it's similarly sized to the Centros, but you can see it's bigger than the 940. Okay, so let's talk about a little bit of the good and the bad. I'm not going to make this an overly long review, but what's good on this is the materials and quality. You've got flame titanium here, which is excellent. The flame titanium feels good. The pattern on it is very, very nice. If you want to take a look at this flame titanium versus the ones that Knives uses, this is the final product of the flame titanium on the Roxy 4. And the Roxy 4 was a $260 knife, whereas this one, I believe, is more of a $55 or $60 knife. So you can really see that despite the difference in knives, the flame anodizing is actually pretty good. Now I'm also going to show you the Roxy prototype. This is the prototype, and so you can see the flame anodizing is different on this one, and it's a little bit more spaced out, just like on the Tucson knife. All right, and so let's take a look at this blade shape, because this is another thing that's good. It's got this nice compound grind. Both of this edge and this edge are both flat grinds. They're not, neither edge is hollow ground. You've got a straight spine that is rounded on both sides, so it's not a crown spine. It's a straight spine that's rounded on the sides, and it's got this nice long profile, almost like a sword or katana, even though it's a knife. So I think it sort of evokes that katana or Japanese image in the knife, which is very, very pleasing to the eye. The Tucson logo itself is a nice looking logo and doesn't look too bad on the knife. The branding, the steel marker here is a little large. I'd prefer it be a little smaller, but not too bad. And the maker's mark looks good as well. The pivot is not overly interesting, but it is fairly attractive, and the flipper tab is actually pretty nice size. So that's the design choices on this are also something that you could consider to be in the good column here. So again, good design, good materials. You got that D2 steel, you got that flame titanium, and the other really good nice thing about the design is the fact that the entire knife is enveloped within the handle when it's closed. So I don't have a lot of other knives like that, but there's a really nice aspect of the design. And another knife that I just got in that exhibits that is the Spyderco Ikuchi. And we'll do a review on that another time. But, you know, it sort of goes on to that popular, mold. And the Spyderco Kikuchi seems to be something that's also Japanese inspired as well. So I guess there's something about those, a Japanese flair to it, that with respect to being hidden inside the handle, the knife, the full part of the knife being hidden inside the handle. The fit and finish on this is pretty good. I will mention that the knife itself, although it comes centered, does sit a little lower at this end than the pivot end. I'm not sure if that's intentional, or if that is, or if it's supposed to sit a little higher so that when it's recessed in, it's not sitting down too low. Like I said, so the fit and finish overall is pretty good. Let's talk about the bad, because there is some bad here. So the first bad I want to talk about is the pocket clip. The pocket clip on here is not good. It is attractive. It's an attractive pocket clip, and there is only one screw holding it, which is kind of nice. And it's not. You can see here the teeth, I guess you should call it. I don't know if that's the proper term, but I'm going to call it the teeth. The tooth here that is what causes the retention is above the lock bar cutout here, which I think is a good part of the design. But the retention on this is so tight that it's very difficult to get this in and out of any pocket whatsoever, no matter how thick. And you wouldn't try to get this into a jeans pocket with how thick that is. You can forget it. So that is one of those things. Somebody who is a little bit braver than I with respect to modding this might try to bend it. I'd be afraid I'd break the clip by bending it, but perhaps it'll just bend out. The other bad thing about it, I should say, is the ergonomics. The ergonomics on this are not great, and that has a lot to do with the handle design, which, while aesthetically pleasing, is it's a couple of straight lines. It just isn't that comfortable. It is what it is. Now, if you look at some other slender knives and how they are in the hand, the CJRB is slender, but does have cutouts here for your fingers to go, and it's much more ergonomic. The 940 has some straighter lines, but again, has some lines here that allow for good ergonomics. So I do have to give this a hit on the ergonomics as well. So those are the major good and major bad. I will say that this is definitely well worth the $55-60 you can spend on it. The action on this is also great, which I probably should have included and did mean to include in the good section, but well worth the $55 to $60 you're going to spend on it. And this is definitely going to go on the recommended list, as long as you fix this pocket clip. If you don't plan on fixing the pocket clip, I would have you think twice about it, just because you're not going to carry it if it's not going to fit in your pants. That's the only thing. In any event, this is going off to a new owner. This is the giveaway prize, and I'll be posting another giveaway soon. Thank you guys for watching. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment if you have anything to say about the knife, or if you just want to talk knives on the channel. Thanks so much. Bye.